Dan Siroker, A/B testing, the most powerful way to turn clicks into customers. Embark on a journey to discover the power of A/B testing through the book A/B Testing, the most powerful way to turn clicks into customers by Dan Siroker. Delve into the world of comparative testing to optimize websites for better user engagement and higher conversion rates. Learn about the tested strategies and tactics employed by President Barack Obama's successful 2008 presidential campaign. Throughout the summary, explore a systematic 5-step process to conduct effective A/B tests, understand the benefits of data-driven company culture, and unravel the ways to involve shared methodologies and data in decision-making processes.
Obama's testing strategies. President Obama's 2008 presidential campaign set the standard for optimizing communication through A/B testing. His team tested tweets, website designs, and calls to action, ultimately increasing sign-ups by 40.6%, resulting in an additional $50 million in donations. While expensive and time-consuming at the time, testing has since become faster, cheaper, and easier, spreading to more companies. Creating a culture of testing also fosters the use of shared data and techniques for decision-making. Purposeful testing process. To effectively perform A/B testing, start by defining success through quantifiable metrics and identifying bottlenecks on your site. Next, construct a hypothesis as to why these bottlenecks exist and prioritize potential solutions based on their impact. Finally, test your hypothesis and determine which version of your site most effectively turns visitors into customers. It's important to avoid changing elements without setting clear goals or criteria. Instead, follow a purposeful and deliberate 5-step process. Success can be defined through macro and micro conversions, and understanding where users are leaving your site will help you create a hypothesis and prioritize solutions. By testing your hypothesis and measuring its impact, you can optimize your site for maximum customer conversion. Testing for better website performance. Website optimization involves either refining your existing design or exploring radically different alternatives. This requires humility and bravery, but can produce greater returns. However, it's important to test your way to better returns rather than settling for weak solutions. A/B testing is a collaborative, interdisciplinary approach to testing specific visual elements and overall site design. Defining success in the context of A/B testing involves turning your site's ultimate purpose into quantifiable success metrics. Often, sites become more effective when you remove elements rather than adding them. Subtraction works particularly well for optimization in the checkout funnel. Changing words can be a quick way to test many variations and fundamentally change a statement's meaning. It's important to test keywords that call on users to act and consider how to frame your message to produce different emotional effects. Test various frames, both positive and negative, emphasizing loss or gain, and accenting passive or active responses. A/B testing strategies. A/B testing can be done using 3 basic methods: building your own tools, buying tools, or hiring help. Each approach has its advantages and disadvantages. Building your own tools is best for large organizations with a technical staff or those already building analytics. Developing your own testing tools is logical if you must test proprietary systems or do extensive testing. Building your own tools doesn't make sense for small organizations without engineering support. It is also essential to do an A/A test if you build your tools. Buying tools through the software as a service (SaaS) model is the most common way to acquire testing tools. In this method, no physical purchase or downloaded software is needed. Instead, you integrate the tool via a one-time copy and paste onto your site. Some platforms fit a wide range of needs and work for businesses of all sizes. To choose the right tool for your firm, select a platform that integrates with your existing software and fits your budget. Lastly, hiring outside consultants to do testing is an option for those without the financial or technical resources to do it themselves. Before hiring consultants, review their reputation, compare different plans, and ensure you can afford them. Use these approaches to determine the best choice for your organization. A/B testing, shifting to an empirical foundation. A/B testing has become an increasingly ubiquitous and critical part of doing business online. However, one practical concern is whether your organization will accept the results. Often, companies make decisions based on the highest paid person's opinion, instead of data, known as the hippo syndrome. To guide your culture towards an empirical foundation, explain testing's two major benefits: to listen to customers more effectively and shift to a testing-based culture to remove the need for people to defend themselves and their positions. To implement testing, begin with elements that people are willing to change and exclude issues caught up in ongoing conflict. Determine a few places you can test quickly and cheaply to include everyone in early wins. Share test results with team members early and update others regularly to transform them. Keep in mind that testing lets you quantify your value, which helps your position. By shifting to an empirical foundation, teams can avoid basing decisions on emotion or ideology, ultimately shifting employees' focus and helping people get along better. Collaborating for successful A/B testing. A/B testing requires collaboration between various departments to succeed. Companies can either establish a centralized team or a decentralized team for testing. The availability of software tools has given departments the freedom to experiment independently. Testing for differences in various audiences is crucial since frequent users may use the site differently than new ones. The winning variation of a page could be the one where elements are removed from the page. It's essential to test each page independently since what works for one group may confuse another. A/B testing for websites. A/B testing is an effective way to optimize a website, but it requires a significant amount of traffic to generate meaningful results. Hypotheses can help clarify the purpose of the test. It's important to focus on the site's primary goals and communicate the results to the team regularly. However, sometimes tests can generate confusing results or conflicting interests. To avoid pushing failure down the funnel, companies need to integrate testing into their identity and establish clear guidelines for what can be shown on the site and what can be tested. This requires a willingness to follow the tests even if they break with design standards. A/B testing for email success. A/B testing emails is a simple way to determine which variation generates the best response from subsets of your email mailing list. Success metrics, like click-through rate, can be quantifiably measured. Unlike websites, you can also test the timing of email sending, which can significantly impact responses. By choosing the best variation, you can send the winning email to the whole group for better results. Targeted testing maximizes personalization. The trend towards personalization demands a shift from providing a one-size-fits-all user experience to offering personalized ones based on location, web use habits, and browsers. The effectiveness of personalization varies from case to case, with some instances being less effective than a standard, universal message. To focus testing and make the most of personalization, use targeting and segmentation. Targeting defines what users see before the test, while segmentation allows analysis of their responses to identify differences. With personalization, there is no single answer, so it's essential to test everything.
After immersing yourself in the compelling insights from A/B testing, you are now equipped to turn curiosity into customers with the power of A/B testing. The 5 steps of defining success, identifying bottlenecks, constructing hypotheses, prioritizing, and testing will guide your journey to a more optimized and engaging website. Furthermore, you have gained an understanding of the importance of a data-driven culture, collaboration, and involving shared methodologies in making informed decisions. Remember, the key to successful optimization lies in balancing exploration with refinement, building traffic to your site, and being open to test and challenge conventional wisdom for better user experiences and higher returns.